is Eli, and for my capstone project, I decided to focus on the making of a sitcom. A sitcom is a situation comedy. A sitcom is a type of TV show where the whole purpose is to make the audience laugh. And I chose sitcoms because, well, they're one of my favorite things to do and watch, so why not have it as your capstone? My main inquiry question is, what are the chief elements in making a sitcom? I chose this question because I wanted to know what really happens in a sitcom. Today I'll be explaining the 3 steps that happen in a sitcom. The first step is pre-production. Pre-production is what happens before all the filming starts. First, there's an audition. An audition is a process where people who want to be in a role for a part show up to a studio, and the producer will have them say maybe a few lines, and whoever the producer thinks does the best at those lines will probably get the role. Then there are the cameras. There are 2 different types of cameras. There are the ones that are on the tripods that are really big and that have to be reeled in on huge carts because they can weigh up to 400 pounds. And then there's some of the cameras that can be held on your shoulders and you can walk around with easily so you don't have to roll them in on the big carts. Then there are props. Props are important because they make things that aren't really real seem real. For example, let's say someone was walking around and then because it's a sitcom and everything's funny, they trip and they fall, and then quote-unquote tea falls on them, but it's really just water because if it was actually tea, they would burn themselves. That's how a prop would be used. The next step is production. Production is basically filming and just how the movie is actually made. When you're filming, it's a really long process because everything has to be done perfectly. If there's one mistake, you have to do it over again. It can take up to 5 to 25 tries, and the cameramen have to be very, very experienced. The actors say it's really, really hard, and a producer that I interviewed named Andrew Singer said it's one of the most stressful times of filming. The next step is post-production. Post-production is what happens after the film. When I interviewed Andrew Singer, who was a producer, he said that post-production is the most important step because it makes the production look unique. Post-production is basically editing, and the first part in editing is music. Music is important because they make everything just be kind of sound funny and just the vibe is just more just realistic to a sitcom. Like, let's say the scene starts, it wouldn't just be like, there's sometimes like a da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like just some sort of like little tune that just happens before it starts. It wouldn't just be like they walk in and nothing happens, but something usually happens. Then there are the sound effects. Sound effects are good, and you need them for a sitcom because they make things that can't happen in real life seem louder and more realistic. For example, let's say, so someone's walking around the kitchen, of course, crashes into like a cabinet, and all the pans come crashing down. They usually wouldn't have the actual sound of the pans. They usually have a recording of pans crashing because it wouldn't be loud enough, and you need the loud bang to really get the effect. Here's a video that kind of shows what these steps are.
Dewey, I just found this letter. It says your school's going to have a father-son 5K race, and it was in the trash.
I wanted to save you the trouble of agreeing to do it, then coming up with a bunch of lame excuses when you don't show up. It's degrading for you, and even though I should know better, still slightly disappointing for me.
Come on, I'm not that bad.
Last week you missed my class performing an original one-act play that I wrote.
Well, I was there yesterday when the mayor presented you with an award for it.
No, you weren't.
Well, I saw every second of the video. Look, son, I am going to be at that race.
I wish I could come. Although, obviously, not as much as I want to go racing with Dewey. Right, sport? All right, the race is in 2 days. Let's get out there and practice. Where do we keep the sports bottles?
Do we really need props for this charade?
When did your mom get a fire extinguisher?
Dad, you probably don't
Why
want
would she hide this from me?
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there, and then I'm going to keep going. That's a really good example of props because if it was an actual fire extinguishing spray, he can get really injured, and that's not what he wants. Probably either like shaving cream or whipped cream so that he doesn't.
Yeah, Mom. He found it. The doctor says 2 weeks. I have to admit, you almost had me fooled. I really thought you were going to come through this time.
Dewey, it was an accident. Believe me, if I wanted to blind myself, there are 100 easier ways I could have done it.
Knowing that I let you down hurts much more than burnt corneas. They hurt a lot. I hate breaking a promise to you, Dewey. I really do. That's the truth. I remember once when my dad told me he was going to take me to an air show.
Dad, I don't want to. It's demeaning.
What's the meaning about it?
Dad, your right shoe's untied.
See, Dewey? Teamwork.
Runners, take your marks. Set.
Hey, please. You can't go up. Much longer. I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it!
Okay. That's kind of an example of. For more information, visit my blog post. And thanks for watching.